still spinning, but it's spinning on a picture of mine. This is a horrible live broadcast. It's a horrible live broadcast, but now it's working. This is a total lesson. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. No matter how much you trust your key grip or your partner or your soulmate, when you really want things done right, you got to do it yourself. And I've been scolded 3 or 4 times today, and I'm not saying I deserve to be defended, but we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. And apparently, one of my weaknesses, uh, apparently, one of my weaknesses is shutting the baby gates we have. For those that are totally new, I have blessed with God bless me with 4 beautiful children. I have 2 little ones. I'm 55 years old. Hello, Jack Taylor over there on YouTube. Kenergy says it looks cold outside. Why am I outside? That's a good question, Kenergy. But hold on, let me finish my song and dance about my babies. Hello, Forever Fit. And apparently, one of my weaknesses in this world is consistently shutting the baby gates behind me, the basement door, and the bathroom door, and even the closet door. I am not that. Hello, Sandra Lynn. That strong at shutting doors. And when you got little babies, you got a little toddler, and you got a little crawler, and you leave gates open and you leave basement doors open, especially to unfinished basements with unsoft stairs with just like wood, bad things happen. The baby's going tunk, 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 tunk. And you don't want a baby to go tunk, 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 tunk. I joke about that. One time, my older daughters live with their mama in a home in Oswego. And there was one time before my first divorce, we were living in a home and I was sitting downstairs, probably doing what it is I was doing, probably drinking a Heineken and smoking comfortably on my couch. And all of a sudden I heard, "Oh, there goes Morgan. There goes Morgan. Get Morgan." And by the time I stood up and turned around, Morgan was just doing one of these, crash into the bottom of the stairs. She turned out okay, but it was a very scary thing for a parent to see. I don't know, she's probably 1.5 or something. Do a full on roll all the way down the stairs. Good morning, John Bradley and Lynette Kronig. Thank you so much for following the live creator. I appreciate it. We got a nice audience on both YouTube and TikTok. That's so fun. Yeah, poor Morgan is right. I mean, she's recovered. She's a tough girl. She's beautiful. She's athletic. She's got a great disposition, a ton of friends, and a beautiful smile. So she's gotten over it. But bad things happen occasionally. And yeah, they do. But anyway, hello, Two Girl Mom. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, and good morning, Miss Co over there on YouTube. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning. It is October 30th. I don't know if you could see it. Maybe you can't see it. But I'm blowing steam because it's 30 degrees here in Naperville, Illinois. You can see the flag flapping over my shoulder. At least you can on YouTube. And I'm going to make sure you can see it on TikTok as well. Again, it's Monday morning. It's October 30th. The year is moving by. The year is moving by. Chris Dawson says, good morning. It's 42 and rainy down in northern Kentucky. The nice thing about northern Kentucky, and I had a buddy live in Paducah for a while, you can almost golf year round. And I would go visit them, and it'd be January or February. We were crazy golfers, and we didn't mind how cold it was. Yeah, 65 in Alabama. I guess the lesson to be learned is if you like warm weather, you go south. Who knew? Who knew? Why do I live in northern Illinois? I'll tell you why. It's because I love cold weather. I love fall weather. I love uh, seasons. I love snow. I love shoveling the driveway. I don't really love raking the leaves, but that's okay. That's not reason enough to move. But the sun is rising from the east as it often does, and this is going to cheat my YouTube viewers. Gonna show you what we're looking at over that way. Hi, YouTube. Show you what we're looking at over that way. Beautiful sunrise. Leaves are changing. It's a beautiful time here in Naperville, Illinois, although, albeit quite chilly. But anyway, this is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show where I move around, a show where I happen to bring myself out to my front stoop. I don't know, maybe a week ago for the first time. And obviously can't be a perma setting, but as I was getting bundled up in my heavy winter coat, my gray hat, although I'd rather be wearing the teal hat, my riding gloves, although they're not very warm. Let me tell you, they're not very warm at all. I'm gonna need some warmer gloves if I'm gonna keep doing my show outside. Hey, thank you. The gray hat looks good. What about my teal hat? We're getting kind of a nice audience relative to the world over on YouTube, and that's always kind of fun. That's always kind of fun. Somebody named Mew Co joined on YouTube. I wonder if she's an international audience. Costco has great gloves, says Sandra Lynn. Sandra Lynn's a wise woman who lives here in Naperville with me, knows the value of a donut, knows the stress that we parents deal with. And I don't know that I'm really feeling stressed at all. Our house was a particularly, yeah, particular. It's hard. Why is it hard talking when it's cold outside? You know what I mean? Particularly cold, particularly slow moving this morning. I slept till 6:15, which is crazy late for me. Everybody else outside of my oldest. It's strange that my oldest stepson, who I would say generally would be described as an oldest stepson might, as the least responsible, the least organized, the least put together. But he's the most consistently up early, showered, ready to go out, and doesn't need any help to get out to school. He must love school in a way I couldn't imagine. But again, he gets his bus at like 6:35 in the morning, and I enjoyed my morning in bed, and it was warm, and I was grateful, and I was appreciative of the gifts that God has given me. And I wasn't in a rush to get started at all. But by the time I waddled down the stairs, he was heading out the door. He was heading out the door, and I was going, wow, as I like to do. He smells very pretty. It's so funny. And I'm going to get in trouble because I shouldn't talk about kids, my kids, or certainly not my stepkids, but sometimes it happens. About 4 or 5 years ago, when he and his mom and I were first getting together, he was getting older and going through a growth spurt, and l- I was learning as a soon-to-be stepdad that the boy needed to shower more often and use deodorant more often. And there'd be times when it wasn't pleasant, and I'd be in a room with him, and I go, dude, you need to shower. You need to start using some deodorant. And it's a hard subject. It's a tough subject to broach. Smell with anybody. Nobody wants to smell, of course. But now, I don't know what's happened in 4 or 5 short years. Now, he's gone from this little kid that couldn't wipe his nose and smelled kind of off to I don't know, a guy that looks at himself in the mirror and tweaking his hair and smells so pretty. I want to borrow his cologne. I wish I could smell as nice as him. As I told him this morning, I go, I'm going to start using your cologne. Might freak your mom out if I start smelling like her oldest son, but I don't know. He smells really pretty. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, I think my cup's kind of cold. It's going to chill out my coffee here. I'm going to make a special effort. For those that have been watching a while, this isn't just a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And on this cold Monday morning, and I've already talked for about 10 minutes, I think it's past time I pour myself a nice hot cup of coffee. And I am so Big Red USA Army says coffee's my drug. It's my drug too. Coffee and life. Can life be a drug? Life's awfully fun if you're awake enough to enjoy it. And coffee helps with the awakeness, and no longer drinking alcohol or smoking pot certainly has helped with the awakeness. And yeah, so anyway, I'll get to that question, Tavis, shortly. I appreciate the question and the comments and the interaction and the 41 people that are watching on TikTok and the 3 or 4 people that are hopping on YouTube. But anyway, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip. I hope where ever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Mm. Oh, I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's the flavor. I think it's just the warmth. I think it's just the warmth. It's the Starbucks mocha coffee. It's the same pot I made at 6:30 in the morning for my first sip video. If you close your eyes and imagine it to be a little sweeter and with little marshmallows floating around, you can almost imagine uh, that you're having hot chocolate at a sledding hill and you're, I don't know, 9 years old and enjoying life like only young kids can. And maybe it's not like only love can, kids can. Good morning, Susie Cream Cheese. Thank you for joining over on YouTube. Um, but anyway, it's a mocha, Starbucks mocha coffee, which is a great cup of coffee, and it's starting to grow on me. And it's kind of like a warm hug, as I described it as. And I think that's a pretty good description. I certainly like the pumpkin spice and the cinnamon dolce and the regular coffees, but the mocha's just got such a subtle hint of warm, creamy milk chocolate or maybe dark chocolate in it. I don't know, but it's nice and tasty. Tavis is day 106 of being sober. I'd feel remiss if I didn't say, way to go, Tavis. I think that's awesome. Somebody asked how long I've been sober. It was 2 years ago on Saturday night, and I did a live video on Saturday night that lasted about an hour and 15 minutes talking about drinking, life, and not drinking. And I think the video came out really good. If anyone hasn't seen it and is curious about drinking or alcohol or its effects on me or I don't know if I'm the typical human by any stretch, but I'm a guy that tries lots of things and has lots of experiences and an ability to share them. I think somebody asked why I eventually quit. I wasn't enjoying. I was getting going. I think I was in like a dark whirlwind. It's not a whirlwind. It's a whirlpool spiral of feeling less and less good and trying to find joy in a bottle of Heineken or a one hitter and unable to find joy in either of those locations. I said I've had enough and I just wanted to quit and didn't want to do it anymore. And 2 years later, I'm still haven't done it anymore, and I'm drinking coffee, and I'm not really tempted uh, because I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it anymore. Thanks, Forever Fit. Somebody, I hate to say, I don't watch the news. Somebody said they feel horrible for the people in Maine, and this is going to be absolutely horrible. I don't even know what happened in Maine. So if anyone wants to clue me in a couple worlds, I don't want to make it a story about tragedies or mass shootings or yuckiness. Okay. Daniel wants to know how tall I am. I'm 6'2". That's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, I could say more. I've said it before. I think 6'2" is the genetically perfect height. Forever Fit knows you're tall enough to play any sport. And you're not so crazy tall that you can't sit in the back seat of a car or fly coach, or you're not bumping your head on the top of doors or what have you, banging your head on things. Although I have noticed, I do a video that's growing in popularity, and I have a lot of fun with called the First Sip. And yes, I am practically perfect in every way. I am just like Mary Poppins. However, if you watch my first sip video, which is a quick one of the fastest growing uh yeah, it's not easy for some who are short. Yeah, it'd be a struggle as a man who's short or a woman who's tall, probably really tall. My daughter's 5'8", and she's trying out for the basketball team this year. And her tryouts are today. She's never played much basketball. My oldest, she's a senior in high school. We've never played that much basketball, but I'll tell you, she's a good athlete. She can throw a football. She can kick a football, and she can catch a football. She should have tried out for football, but alas, she's trying out for basketball. And I wishing her the best. It's probably hard because there's a lot of skills involved in basketball that she doesn't really get, like dribbling and shooting. But she is tall and is a good athlete. So maybe be awesome if she could. I think it'd be so fun to watch her go play basketball. But what was I talking about? Other than me being genetically perfect in almost every way. It's funny, I say things like that. They have girls flag football in New Jersey in high school. I think I saw that they're going to have flag football in the Olympics. In the Olympics. Seems kind of crazy to me because I don't know, maybe if you have a ref, but maybe when I played like flag football in high school and junior high and gym class, we'd learn to kind of wrap the flags around a couple times so they'd be harder to tear off. I think there's a vast opportunity to cheat a little bit in flag football. In real football and tackle football, when you're tackled, you're usually down. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I guess when you lose your flag, it's kind of down and obvious too. I don't know, but I heard that they have flag football coming to the Olympics. Let's drink a little more coffee. Mm. I know what I was saying about my height. If you watch my first sip video, we have a chandelier in the kitchen, and it's meant to be over a table, and it's probably hanging down to about 5'10" in height. And again, I'm 6'2", so I usually grab my coffee and turn to the coffee maker, and we move the coffee maker and the coffee bags and a lamp, and we kind of got a nice setup on a bar area for our coffee bar, and it looks really nice. And I like it there, although it is away from the sink, so putting the water in the coffee pot's a little more challenging. But I'd say the beauty that it is well worth it. Is well worth it. Okay, well, Forever Fit, I did not mean to offend. Yeah, we do need to get kids away from the screens. Although I've got two screens staring at me right now, so maybe we should lead by example. We should lead by example. I'll be sitting on the couch yelling at my youngest stepson, William, get off the iPad! Get off the iPad! And then I'll go back to my phone. I don't know if that really happens, but I can imagine it happens. I can imagine the hypocrisy in homes throughout the country. But anyway, the chandelier, which is hanging between my island and the coffee bar, is hanging at about 5'10". So I got to kind of creep in, kind of hunched over, and pour my first sip of coffee. And I've noted that as I'm posting that video the last couple days. But I'll tell you what, just because I have a slightly low chandelier, I wouldn't want to be 5'8" just to accommodate the lowness so I could walk through it. Sometimes as I used to be a realtor for 17 years, and most of you guys probably know that. Some basements, especially in older homes, have very weird cavernous areas, and especially as you go east, because the older I'm just west of Chicago, and the closer you go to Chicago, obviously big city. Generally, the older the towns are, and some of the homes I've shown, like in Lagrange or Elmhurst or what have you, you go down into the basement and you're doing one of these. It feels like you're going into a coal mine. And the walls are made, I mean, it's kind of cool, but the walls are made up of these rocks. They built the foundation out of boulders, it seems. And it seems kind of cool. But there's areas where they'll put maybe a washer and dryer on one side of the basement, and I got to do like the limbo as low as I can to get from one side of the basement to the other. And I don't know if that ever worked for me. I like basements. I guess it sucks when they flood, but as a man, I think men like cold, dark places with big TVs, and that you know, oftentimes will occur in a basement area. And I don't know. Ooh. Good morning, Andrea. We have a new viewer named Jonathan Andrea who caught me on my sobriety video the other day. And it's my favorite place in our house. Yeah, Sandra Lynn, I think I might like this Sandra Lynn. Anne Marie and I are going to have Sandra Lynn over, or should I call her Everlasting Bloom? We're going to have Sandra Lynn over or meet her out for coffee someday because she knows the pain of it being a parent. She lives in Naperville. She loves coffee. She loves the farmer's market. She loves donuts and she loves her basement. There's so much going on between Sandra Lynn and us. Whoa, my flag looks so pretty on YouTube. Wait, it's over here. That's the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest thing. Doesn't all that coffee upset my stomach? Tavis, no, it doesn't. Thank you for asking. I drank a cup of coffee about 5:30 last night. I'd been out most of the day. It was a cold, wet day. I got home about 3 o'clock, and I will tell you what the biggest blessing is for me yesterday. In a crowded house with two babies, three stepkids, a wife, a dog, two cats, although I don't often see the cats, everyone left the house. I mean, the babies were asleep. They didn't leave the house. So I was on baby duty. And the beauty of the afternoon is the babies were asleep. So nothing better. I would I should volunteer to be a babysitter. They get paid a lot. And only want to babysit when the babies are asleep because that's what I faced yesterday. All of a sudden everyone left the house, went shopping, went to friends' houses, went to I don't know where they went. I was just happy they went. And I was looking at an afternoon of a totally quiet house, sleeping babies, and I kind of got I it was kind of cold and wet, and I was out all day. It was one of the raw days, and I had nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon. The Bears weren't even playing, and kind of cuddled up on a warm blanket and played one of my favorite guys on TikTok, some hypnotic guy who was talking very peacefully to me, and I drifted off for 2 beautiful hours of sleep. And I woke up and it was one of those deep sleeps where you have dreams and you're kind of freaked out and you're kind of feeling fuzzy. And I thought, hey, why don't we pour myself a cup of coffee this afternoon? And that's what I did. So, speaking of coffee, let's drink a little more. I'm going to get rid of that. I might be ready to pour myself a second pot of coffee when I get in there today. Hey, we got a nice audience on over on YouTube. We've had 6 or 7 people, which for YouTube's pretty good. On TikTok, we obviously get a bigger audience. We usually will have 40, 50 people. We got 20 something today. But either way, it feels real good, and I appreciate you guys because I go live every morning. Do I drink black coffee only, Andrea? No, I don't. I drink cream when I'm out on the road. At home, I drink black coffee for a bunch of reasons. I said this a lot. There's less calories. I probably drink 5, 6 cups of coffee a day at home at least. And oh wait a minute, let's just check it out. Full service. I wonder what flavor. Don't even tell me. You want to tell me? No, no, I don't need this. But thank you. You're awesome. Somebody just brought me some new hot coffee, some new fresh coffee. It's weird after you've been drinking coffee all day or all morning. You lose your the taste buds that can distinguish one coffee from the next, and they all I don't know can start. I mean, that just smells like coffee. Just smells like coffee. Let me take a sip. I'm gonna guess it's more of the same. I'm gonna guess I'm. It's more of the same. These mornings, you all need to hop on camera together one of these mornings. Do I? Well, let's get back to the black coffee. I drink 6 cups of coffee or so. That's why you serve the good wine first. Oh, yeah. Hey, I appreciate that. Somebody on YouTube said that's why you serve the good wine first because you can really distinguish the flavors and the tastes that separate the wine and the coffee. But once you've had a pot or two of coffee or a bottle or two of wine, I think it kind of works the same. You're just going, I don't know. I'll tell you, it's all Greek to me. You know what I mean? So let's have a little more. I'm going to say it's the same. I don't even know. Could be the peppermint mocha. It could be the peppermint mocha, but there's a big overlap between the mocha and the peppermint mocha. But maybe Everlasting Bloom will share with us what type of coffee I am now drinking. I'm in Florida. You look so cold where you live. Well, it's cold here. It was 30 degrees when I came out this morning, and I like the cold weather. Yeah, here we might get snow on Halloween. I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be awesome. I love snowy winters. I mean, love and shoveling the snow. I always say that. It's kind of nostalgic for me. I remember I had one of my best friends growing up was a buddy named Chris, and he and I would carry our shovels on snowy days. And I was born in '68, and we had incredibly snowy late '70s, early '80s cold uh, winters with tons of snow, and we would have shirts that I survived the blizzard of '79 because we got more snow than we'd ever had before in the Chicagoland area. I don't know if it was that way across the country. Yeah, the Starbucks mocha. Okay, so it is the same. And we'd carry our shovels and we'd go up and knock on doors and you know, I don't know, it's 40 years ago now, so I don't know how much we made, but maybe 10, $15 a driveway or something like that. And we'd split it. We'd do 4 driveways. We'd walk out with $30 each, you know, for a Saturday morning for a couple 12-year-old kids. That was pretty good. And it was a lot of work, but we were young boys. We had a lot of energy, and it was, I mean, you know, energy to burn. And it probably gave my parents and his parents some peace because we were tired when we got home and we had $30 burning a hole in our wallet each. Uh, Everlasting's blue is okay. And I'll be honest, those I'm talking about days when I carried a shovel around. About 3 or 4 years ago, we had a big snowstorm that was in the news and it was coming to the Chicagoland area, and we were supposed to get like 15 to 20 inches of snow. And I live on a corner lot, and you're responsible in the neighborhood, if you're a good neighbor, of shoveling the sidewalks as well. And we probably have 70, I mean, I'm making it up, but 75 yards of sidewalk along with driveway to shovel. And if you're getting 15 inches of snow or so, and you're 53 years old, and your stepson, who's very good at getting himself off to school, isn't very good at helping you shovel, you don't want it. It's much more work than you want, and just unpleasant, and could actually be dangerous. So I ran out to the local Ace Hardware at the absolute worst time to buy a snowblower in Chicagoland when everyone knows there's a blizzard coming, and the inventory was low. But I got a Toro, a mid-sized Toro, I believe, snowblower, and I love it. I still love it. I still love it. I still love it. We have the same issue being a corner house. Would you rather snowblow the driveway or mow the lawn? I'd like to do both. Uh, I like to do both. I mean, there's greats of both. I don't look at them as either of them as unpleasant, Jack. Jack asked if I'd rather snowblow a driveway or mow the lawn. I enjoy both, and I feel good when I do both. And again, yeah, Susie over on YouTube said good, honest labor, and it is. You know, especially snow. I mean, they're both at 55. Just walking and pushing a mower around here is a ton of steps. Takes about an hour to mow, and I don't know how long to shovel, but it is. I always feel very accomplished when I'm done, uh, and productive. And when you mow the lawn, it looks beautiful. I don't know. When you shovel your driveway, you come in. My nose is running. Must be freezing. It is freezing. I hope it wasn't like running all the way down my face. That wouldn't be very pleasant. But anyway, I don't even know how long I've talked to you. I've talked to you about 35 minutes. We got a nice audience on YouTube. I so appreciate that. We got a beautiful day. It's Monday morning. I'm coming at you from Naperville. I got a nice hot cup of coffee, and it's keeping my hands warm. Mm. I think I was told I was supposed to do this a few times. My wife is helping me a lot on our social media. Hold on, let me do this again. And she's been working on thumbnails, and she's been posting them on my YouTube videos and making my YouTube page look a lot more professional. And she goes into these videos and edits them. Thank you. And finds pictures out of them to use on the thumbnail, and she'll put like a collage. Is that the word? That might be today's word of the day. A collage. I believe it means. I'm not even totally sure what it means, but I think she puts a collage of pictures, which is 4 or 5 pictures together of different angles and me looking cool in different ways. But she says, make sure you get a smiling picture from time to time. Uh, so anyway, I will subscribe. I had no idea. Same name on there. Coffee with Ken. Yeah, Coffee with Ken's on YouTube as well. And we're trying to grow that platform, and we think that's a good platform to build a business around. And it's a platform that stood this test of time, and that gives creators some freedom to talk about what they want and do different things. And yeah, please follow us over on YouTube as well, and tell your friends because that's growing. And we're about to get we're fast approaching. We might even have hit 9,000 subscribers on TikTok today. We're fast approaching 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. And we're having a lot of fun watching each of them grow. And I've talked about it before. Life's a lot more exciting when you. Good morning, Kayla. When you're excited about. Well, thank you. Susie Cream Cheese says much classier thumbnails, aren't they? My wife does good work, but I gotta post pretty pictures. But anyway, life's a lot more fun when you're excited about something and you're learning something. And there's so much to learn. Thank you, Julie, for the rose with content creation. And I tell you what, oftentimes I go to Starbucks a lot. I got a talk show named Coffee with Ken. A lot of times I'll go in a new Starbucks or a Starbucks, and there'll be somebody new behind the counter or behind the cash register, and I'll be ordering my coffee, and I'm just ordering a tall coffee with cream, and they'll be frozen and not know what to do. And I'll go, first day? Yeah, you're always nervous when you're just getting started. Any job you do. I started working at Super Target, I don't know, back in February. I no longer work there because now I do full time content creation. Uh, and you just don't know what you're doing, where to go, where the bathroom is, where you get a mop if you need a mop, or how to push the right button on the cash register to order a tall coffee with cream. And that's kind of the way I feel, even though I've been creating content for a long time. There's so much behind the scenes stuff. There's so much to learn behind the scenes, hashtags, thumbnails, descriptions, keywords, uh, you know, hooks, what have you. And we, are learning. And there's so many resources on the platform itself with which to learn and ways to improve and so many ways to get better. And we're just scratching the surface. I think my content's pretty good. It's pretty interactive. It's kind of fun. And I have a vast amount of experiences with which I share with the audience. Um, but again, there's so much more than just posting videos. And yeah, there's so much more than just posting videos. And we're having fun learning, and we're having fun getting a little better every day. And yeah, we're looking forward to sharing the beauty that is winter and the beauty that is Naperville. And I was picturing it this morning as I was putting on my coat, wondering if I could do this in a heavy snowfall, and if the snow would clog my camera or block my camera or ruin the video. And yeah, when you're live now, is it live on YouTube at the same time? Great question, Andrea. And yeah, I'm going live. I've got a computer here and a phone on it. And Everlasting Bloom says she wants to do the Arboretum lights again. She and I went to the Arboretum. There's a place in Lisle, Illinois, which is the suburb east of us, called the Arboretum, and it was founded by the guy. His first name or his last name's Morton, of the Morton Salt fame, and it's a museum basically of trees, and it's beautiful, and it's I don't know how many acres, but it's big. And every winter they put up the most incredible lights and create like a mile and a half walk around uh, a lake and around through some of the forest. And I tell you what, when you're talking Christmas, the lights that they do, you can't imagine. And I'm not just talking white or red or green lights or even reindeers, but just beautiful, beautiful lights. And they have various music playing and the lights flashing on and off, coordinated with the music. And it is just beautiful. And we went there a couple of years ago and had a really nice time. And they have people, volunteers giving out hot chocolate and lighting fires so you can warm up on the walk. And it's just beautiful. And we're hoping to go again. But it is a hot ticket, believe it or not. It's a hot ticket. And uh, fortunately, I know I'm friends with somebody that volunteers there and that gets extra tickets. Maybe I'm going to reach out to if Mrs. Sheck, she's like my mom away from my mom. She was my best friend's mother, lived a few houses down, and used to spend a lot of time at their house and he at mine. His mother's a beautiful woman named Mrs. Shack, and she volunteers at the Arboretum, and she sometimes hooks me up with free tickets to the lights at the Arboretum. So yeah. Anyway, Halloween. Are we ready for Halloween? We kind of are. We kind of are. I need Halloween to get here quickly. I learned 2 nights ago where we're stashing the Halloween candy, and 2 nights in a row I binged on chocolate and candy before I went to bed. And I'm ashamed of the huge pile of wrappers I have. I blame the chocolate companies for making chocolate just taste too good. And so we need Halloween to get here, and I guess it'll be here tomorrow, as that is when Halloween is, ironically. Hey, it's my dog Holly's birthday today. I think she was born on October 30th, 5 years ago. And I don't know if we're going to plan anything for her. Maybe I'll drop a little extra leftovers on her and rub her on the head and say happy birthday to Holly. So happy birthday to Holly. She's a good girl. Hey, Kayla, thank you for hopping in today, and thank you all for joining. We've had a nice audience, and I appreciate you guys. I go live on YouTube um, every day at 8 o'clock, or pretty much every day at 8 o'clock. And I also post a bunch of shorts during the day and have a lot of fun with it. And I'm watching these platforms grow. And this show means a lot to me. And I appreciate you guys for taking some of your Monday morning. I know we all are busy and have things to do. I got to wrap up quickly because my hands are cold. But it's a Monday morning. And I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. I'm going to have a bunch more coffee, but one more sip with you, or at least another sip with you. I so appreciate you all for joining. I so appreciate went a little long today. I hope that's okay. Uh, I'm live here and on YouTube, Andrea. But anyway, I so appreciate you guys for joining. Again, I go live at 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'll go live after a workout, which I'm due to have today. And I have a lot of fun doing this, and I hope my videos make a difference or entertain or educate or inspire or motivate, or I don't know, maybe just keep make you remember you're not alone, because we're never alone in this world. There's always somebody looking out for us, and just remember that if you're feeling lonely today. So anyway, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It's Monday morning. I'm excited about the day. I'm excited about the week. I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.